G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now who loves chainsaws and big cranes, heavy machinery and lots of noise? Well, I certainly do too, kids. Now I know you're gonna love this episode because today we've come along to this place and we're gonna cut down a massive tree. It's a problem tree, it's in the wrong spot and it needs to come down. We've been called in for the big job. Now, safety is very important, kids, when you're dealing with chainsaws and big machinery. So, as Ozzie always says, safety first. Let's get some safety gear on. And we're gonna need to have our safety glasses. We definitely need a safety helmet to protect our head. We need some earmuffs to protect our ears. They'll go on there in a second. And of course, we need a high-vis vest so that all our workmates can see us and know where we are. So the guys have already started. You can hear the noise in the background and see we've got some cones here and some signage just to let people know that this area, there's work happening. So you've got to make sure that if you come in here, you're protected, you've got your safety gear, and you make sure you're doing things properly and safely. So here's the excavator in action, kids. Look, it's got the grabber on the end. Just like in other Aussie videos, we've described the excavator different parts before. That's the grabber, and see how he's grabbed that, and he's just dragging that tree right up here. And that wood chipper can just take that whole tree branch and just munch it up and spit it out the other side. It's unbelievable. That chipper can actually take 19-inch branches. So we're talking something like that big. You can just take it, the whole thing, into that, chomps it up, spits it out. Okay, so kids, this is the project for today. This is the big tree, and it's a beautiful tree, but it's in the wrong spot, and it's only gonna grow even taller, probably another 30 meters, and that's no good because all the houses around here are gonna be in danger if this thing grows too much taller. So it's gotta come down, unfortunately. So the guys are here doing all things very safely. You can see that all the branches have been taken down all the way up to where the man is up the tree. How cool will that job be? Hanging up there in the tree, chopping down the branches. So you can see it takes a few people to make this happen. We've got a guy down here on the ropes. We've got a man up in the tree. And what he's doing up there is he's gonna wrap that rope around the branch, put it in a special spot, and then he's gonna chop the branch. And then the man on the ground, he's gonna slowly lower that tree branch down. The excavator's gonna pick it up. Then it goes to the chipper, gets fed into the machine, and get taken away. And they do that step by step until they get all the branches down. And then they take the big trunk. We're going to see that a bit later. All right, so kids, this looks like a whole lot of fun. And I don't know, I reckon that'd be pretty good to be up there. But if you want to become just like these guys and climb trees and learn how to cut them down properly, to be a professional tree lopper, guess what it's called? It's called an arborist. So it's a very specialised skill that you need to do training for so you can become as good as these guys. So it doesn't snow in Australia very often. This is the closest we're going to get. It's a sawdust shower. So with all that sawdust falling around us, that's why it's very, very important to have our safety glasses on. And did you see how hard that log hit the ground? That's why it's very important to keep our distance back here, because if one of those logs hits one of the other ones on the ground, it could ricochet up send wood flying everywhere. And if you have a look on the fence here, it sent mud flying everywhere. So safety glasses, very, very important. So I've just seen Luke come down. He's finally finished up the tree. He doesn't need to be up there anymore. He's finished all his cuts. The last cut that needs to be done is from the ground. So we're just going to do one big cut down here, pull the tree stump over that way, and then we're going to take those bits of the tree, send them into the chipper, into the truck, into wood chips, and then we're done. Done. So Luke's finished the last cut down here, and we see the excavators had the rope on the end of it. That's because this is a really, really heavy part of the tree. So too heavy for 3 people to pull. The excavator had the rope, and that was pulling it backwards so that it knew exactly where it needed to go. It just guided that tree right down into the gap, and the excavator can come pick it up and take it over, chop it up, and we'll be done. So the guys have packed up all the equipment. We've cleaned up all that tree. That huge big tree has been chipped, and it's in the back of that truck, and that gets used to spread around council land. So nothing gets wasted here. How cool is that? So there you go, kids. I'm standing right here where this big tree used to be, standing about 30 or 40 meters right up into the sky. It had to come down because of safety reasons, but I was here today with Tree Serve, taking us through the process of how to cut this tree down from top to bottom using the chainsaws, the chipper, the excavator, and a whole lot of skill. Kids, I hope you've loved this episode today. It's been super fun. We'll see you on another episode of Ozzie very soon, and until then, stay keen. If you haven't already, make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new and exciting videos that we put out. Speaking of new and exciting, if there's a video that you'd love to see Ozzie do, make sure you send us a message on our socials, on Facebook or Instagram at Ozzie for Kids. We'll see you again soon, kids. And until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Ozzie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of